Watch the transformation happening in Dearborn, Michigan, home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the U.S. Welcome back. The city of Dearborn, Michigan recently made headlines after one of its residents was captured in Syria and accused of working for ISIS.
Yeah, Dearborn has a large Muslim population, but that recent news doesn't reflect the good things that are happening there. CBN's Mark Martin shows us what's going on.
Dearborn is known for being home of the Ford Motor Company. It's also home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the country. Drive around town and it's like you're transported to the Middle East. Nearly half of Dearborn's population is Muslim. Out of the 90,000 residents, approximately 40,000 practice Islam. 80% are Shia Muslims, mainly from Lebanon and Iraq. 20% are Sunnis, mainly from Yemen.
That makes this area the largest concentration of Arab Shia Muslims in the United States. And that mosque behind us is actually a Shia mosque. It's definitely the largest Shia mosque in the United States.
It's known as the Islamic Center of America. John Koski views himself as a Christian missionary to Muslims here. He's also the associate pastor at Springwells Church, an Assembly of God congregation led by Pastor Trey Hancock and his wife Becky. The church sits less than 10 minutes away from the Islamic Center of America in the heart of a neighborhood that's 97% Muslim.
Jesus said, I want you here. So we're here. And I mean, what better place in the whole wide world, to find people that don't know Jesus, that need him and need what Jesus has to offer. Right here, we're not making it hard for them to come to the Lord.
The church began meeting in the Hancock's home in 2000, more than a decade after the pastor and his family first arrived in Dearborn to minister to Muslims. Hancock says he heard the call of God while in Dearborn receiving cultural training.
And just walking and just praying, got down about right here at this very spot. And the Lord spoke to me and said, if you're going to learn about these people, you got to live with them. And I thought, whoa, that didn't come from me. I knew who that was. It was really clear, it was really distinct, and there was a prompting from the Holy Spirit. And I said, okay, Lord.
That step of faith has led to a thriving ministry. In addition to Sunday services, church outreach includes drama presentations, a wrestling club, and English as a second language classes, which include learning Bible verses in Arabic and English.
I think it's very effective because we're really building relationships. We're ministering to their felt needs, and one of the biggest needs is to learn English as a second language.
Koski and others like Paul Schindelbeck also take their ministry door to door.
You said this speaks of the truth of Jesus?
Yeah, it speaks about who Jesus was.
Who Jesus was?
Yeah.
Diane Berry serves through a Christian Taekwondo ministry. The former Muslim says Springwells is making a difference.
Is God. It's all God. It has to be. And the supernatural protection as well, when you think about it. And we're welcomed here by most because it's a serving church.
Hancock is overjoyed when Muslims accept Jesus.
Lights my fire, man. When they say yes to Jesus, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing, especially after they get baptized, because that's when they're saying to the world, I belong to Jesus.
Although rewarding, ministering in Dearborn takes a lot of work. Koski says it takes 30 gospel presentations for the average Muslim to accept Christ. And that's not the only tough part. In ministering in this area, spiritual warfare is definitely involved. For example, Hancock says in the last decade, more than a dozen churches in the Dearborn area have been sold to Muslims and turned into mosques. Churches like this one, you can see it's now the American Muslim Center, and the cross has been removed from the steeple. On this other former church, an Islamic House of Wisdom sign has actually been placed over the cross on the steeple. Still, Hancock knows the Muslims who purchased the churches are not the enemy.
I'm not fighting, quote, them, because I want them to come to Jesus.
The pastor looks forward to the day he learns many Muslims have responded to the gospel message through his ministry.
I hope when I stand in front of the Lord that there's thousands standing behind me that I had no idea that were listening.
He believes there are more former Muslims in Dearborn who believe in Jesus than can say so because they're afraid of each other. And to the secret believer, he has a message.
Find somebody who knows Jesus. Let them know what you're dealing with, that you've said yes to the Lord. Even if you have questions, ask them to pray for you and allow Jesus to minister to you.
Mark Martin, CBN News, Dearborn, Michigan.